the state flag suddenly taking center stage in the race for governor. The Republicans who are battling for the nomination want to save the flag as it is. Thanks for staying with us. I'm David Wade.
And I'm Courtney Cole. Now, the movement to change the flag actually started under a Republican governor, Charlie Baker. But as WBZ political analyst John Keller shows us tonight, today's GOP candidates see this issue differently.
It's not really honoring the legacy of Indigenous people by having a sword above this person, kind of saying that they were only good for what they died for.
Meet Stephanie Salguero, a local descendant of the Lakota Sioux, who's been part of the years-long push to get rid of a 250-year-old coat of arms critics say demeans the state's original residents.
I think we need to understand the impact that these public, flags, team names play into how people conceptualize and understand Indigenous identity, creating a new seal to honor what Massachusetts now stands for, not so much the historical context of genocide.
But with the field of alternative seals narrowed down to these three and Beacon Hill hearings planned for later this year, the Republicans running for governor see a wedge issue emerging.
We're people with a complicated history, sometimes proud, sometimes painful, but it's ours. And I don't think the lesson is to erase the past or pretend it didn't happen, but face it honestly and learn from it. The flag reflects our history.
And I think in this state, it's the right flag for our state. I think it carries a really important part of our history of liberating this country, the history of fighting for liberty.
Pursuing issues like this only widens that gap between what the people are concerned about and what government seems to be focused on.
We've got real fiscal issues, I believe, on the horizon. The last thing we should be doing is spending likely millions and millions of dollars to change a flag when there are other critical priorities in the state to pursue.
I do think Republicans could have a more inclusive approach and understanding that life does come with change.
All right, so some strong opinions out there. Obviously, What do the voters think?
Well, David, the most recent poll I could find from UMass Amherst last fall showed 40% strongly or somewhat in favor of replacing the flag, 38% somewhat or strongly opposed, so a dead heat, the rest undecided. And guess who seems to agree with the two Republicans that this is not a high priority issue right now?
The governor?
Good guess.
Yeah.
A spokesperson for the governor says her, quote, focus is on the economy, lowering the cost of housing, energy, and health care, and standing up to the damage Donald Trump is doing every day, end quote. I'm guessing the flag is going to stay as is for the foreseeable future.
Do you think the numbers would be different if the new suggestions were perhaps better?
Are you suggesting that they're not exactly lighting up the night sky?
Whoever did them, hats off to you, but they don't necessarily represent Massachusetts all that well.
Time will tell, David.
Just one person's opinion. Thank you so much, John. Appreciate it. Courtney, over to you.